Once we kind of realized that they saw the value in the work that we were doing, they were really just happy about the time savings. Then we kind of just continued that. And then we said, okay, well, if we save them this many hours, then we can kind of continue that. And that's where Automation Rabbit came to be.
Hey guys, this is Elijah Vargas from the Goal Swole podcast. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, Elijah, thanks so much for having me on here. I'm ANUSH SAMIEV. I'm a senior here at Creighton studying finance and BIA, and I'm currently the co-founder of Automation Rabbit.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I want to talk about that a little bit today. I'm really excited, honestly, because I know for like a while you've been talking to me about like Automation Rabbit and getting on my podcast and kind of like promoting that a little bit. So can you kind of explain what that is for those that don't know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So Automation Rabbit, we're an agency, and our main focus is building custom solutions for businesses. Now, what that looks like is we'll go and we'll talk to a business, we'll build a, whether it be building an app, a website, or an automation. And the main goal behind that is just to automate the busy work, just taking advantage of all this new technology to allow the people that we work with to just buy their time back and just have the ability to be creative and not just be, completely just bundled with busy work that they have to do nonstop.
Like stuck in a box, kind of. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they can express themselves creatively, come up with like new solutions. And it's AI based, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll implement AI when it's appropriate in a lot of our solutions.
That's sick, man. So how do you harness that, like this? Because I know a lot of people are still like a little bit cautious about using AI for stuff. Mm-hmm. How do you balance that with creating these solutions? Yeah.
Just like how do we balance, for example, using AI for the right purposes and not just kind of using AI just to use it. Yeah. I mean, as AI, and I guess the more appropriate term right now would be LLMs, like large language models. As they're just becoming a lot more prevalent, you see a lot of people, you see all this hype around AI and people are saying it's a bubble. Well, the way we like to think about it is it's really a tool that when used properly has just crazy ROI, but I mean, it's also easy to just put it into solution just to say that you have AI and just to upcharge. But the way we look at it is an LLM, what it's really good at is it has access to a lot of information. It's trained on, pretty much, you could honestly just say almost everything that's publicly available on the internet. So when we're building out a solution that, for example, back in the day when you had to build out an automation, it was very linear. It would just follow, kind of like a yes or no type of format. You'd have maybe a few different decision trees that you could go down. When you're using an LLM, you can use it, for example, to summarize a bunch of data and then output exactly what you want for it to keep going. You can use it to, support a lot of decision making. You can use it to go out and just pull a lot of information to enrich certain things that you need to. So really just using it when it's appropriate. An AI automation is just an automation that uses AI properly. It's not, one that uses AI all around.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that's sick, dude. That's sick. So can we kind of like talk about how this all started? Mm-hmm. How did Automation Rabbit like come to be? And then like, how did you guys decide on like, oh, this is how we're going to operate. And then this is how we're going to promote ourselves.
So I'm a co-founder. I started this with my older brother. And if you ask him, he would have his own story of how it came to be.
Yeah.
But for me, a lot of my motivation came from my experience at Union Pacific. So I was an intern there. I was in the finance department, but most of my job was doing data analysis. So we had, for example, they had business credit cards, and my job was to just make sure that people are following the rules when it came to using the company money appropriately. And in that role, I had the opportunity to use Tableau to basically just speed up our auditing process, because instead of writing a SQL query for each in-depth audit that we had to do, we could just build a Tableau dashboard that would refresh automatically, and then we can just check that, once a quarter instead. So that just helped us basically stay on top of the audits, do them on a more consistent basis, and just saved a lot of time. And then once I had that experience, I was like, okay, I mean,
how can I transfer it into
exactly?
Yeah.
And then we had our first opportunity come up where they were also interested in looking into Tableau. They're spending, I mean, a lot of hours in Excel on a weekly basis. So we went to them. We kind of talked about how we're going to set up Tableau for them. And then once we kind of realized that they saw the value in the work that we were doing, they were really just happy about the time savings. Then we kind of just continued that. And then we said, okay, well, if we save them this many hours, then we can kind of continue that. And that's where Automation Rabbit came to be. That's where the emphasis on, I mean, at least from my perspective, a lot of like the automation and automating the busy work in our taglines and stuff. I think that's where it came from.
So it's mainly like, how can I save these big companies, these organizations time, and so that they can focus on new stuff, right?
Yeah, right, on monotonous tasks. So
Yeah.
just doing the same thing over and over and over again. I mean, that just, I mean, I don't know if you've ever been in a role where you had to spend, basically do the same thing, just a repetitive task over and over and over again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I mean, that just kills motivation. That just
does.
kills employee, like their will to just come into work.
Satisfaction, job satisfaction.
So just us being able to go in and basically take that out of it and just leave them with the parts of the job that they actually enjoy, allowing them to make creative decisions, like stuff that a human should be doing. I am a very strong believer that human beings should focus more on being creative and making decisions, stuff that AI can't take away from you. And I believe that AI should come in and basically take over all of this repetitive.
Yeah, like the remedial tasks, and we should focus on like coming up with ideas and then like also building connections with people, right?
Exactly. Stuff that technology can't do.
Yeah.
So the human things, I am a firm believer that humans should kind of move away from doing those repetitive things and just focus on what makes us human.
And you're saying that these are like your firm values. Would you say that Automation Rabbit kind of reflects those ideals as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a big fear is, for example, that AI is going to come in and it's going to take everyone's jobs. I think when used inappropriately, there could be a potential for that. But I think a lot of it is also kind of, I don't think it's going to come in and be this disastrous force that takes everyone's jobs and then we're all, just in a really bad place because of that. I think it's just new technology, exactly like how when laptops became available for everyone. There were a lot of jobs that were lost in the process, but also there were new jobs that were created. So there's going to be a lot of jobs that are created around just, for example, maintaining, developing all of these LLMs,
these
for example.
Programs,
exactly. Yeah. When repetitive tasks are taken over, there are going to be a lot more jobs. Kind of people are going to be pushed up to maybe more management positions.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So, I mean, I think Automation Rabbit, I have firm beliefs on how AI should be used, and I try to use AI ethically, and I try to align it with the mission.
No, yeah, I fully understand that. I mean, I use AI like on the daily, whether it's ChatGPT asking it stupid questions or using it to make captions for a lot of the videos that I make. A bunch of other stuff I do, AI, image generation, video creation, just a ton of stuff. But at the end of the day, like I'm not going to sit here and try to animate something because that's not something I can do. But like you're saying, it'll if I try to do that, that's something that would take hours, and that's a remedial task that I really want to just get away from. And I could spend more time trying to apply those creations like creatively, like you said. So I totally understand where you're coming from. That totally makes sense, and I love that. So I know I kind of like you kind of like covered like where Automation Rabbit came from. So kind of looking at it now, what are some. Basically, I just want to hear you kind of brag about it, if that makes sense. Like, do you have any like statistics or anything, like any testimonials like that? Success stories is kind of what I'm looking for, if you have any.
No, yeah. I love that question. The first big success story that we had was we went to this market research firm, and they were called Various Insights. And they had a sales team of about 20 people. And basically, if I were to explain the process, so if you were to put yourself in one of like the salesman's shoes, for example, you have to go after anywhere from maybe 50 to 100 leads in that given month. And their approach for each lead is that they want to make sure that they have as much information and context on that lead so they can make a very personalized outreach. And so they'll spend anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour doing that research in a very specific format. They'll write out, they'll basically consolidate all the information, write out I'm blanking on the word right now, but I believe it's called like an executive summary.
Yeah.
That they would put together in a very specific format. So that'll take them 30 minutes to an hour on each lead, and they're doing outreach for 50 to 100 leads a month. We were able to build a solution for that where it would find all of the information that they were looking for. It would put the executive summary together in the exact format that they wanted it in. And we were able to find even more information, such as, for example, what jobs they were hiring for, so they can kind of better understand the talent that they were looking for, which had a direct connection to the market research. Verus Insights' main purpose, which is doing research to help them attract and retain talent. So we're able to go out, basically automate that process, bring it down from 30 minutes at a minimum to 1 minute.
That's insane.
And that's for all 20 sales reps.
Yeah.
So that was a huge success story. The time savings on that.
Yeah.
If you take into account how much they're being paid for their hour, we saved them a lot of money. We saved them a lot of time. And now the sales team, instead of spending all their time doing research, they can spend their time sitting there and actually thinking how they're going to make, the best use of the first email they send out or the first phone call.
Yeah.
Instead of doing research, they can actually focus on how to sell.
Yeah. That's huge. And so, like, what does that client's business look like now that they're using Automation Rabbit for those tasks? We got a very very happy review from
That's
them,
the best.
So, yeah.
They were ecstatic. Yeah.
I love that.
And then I would say maybe in the fall, we had the opportunity to partner up with Megasaver. So they were looking at redoing their online presence. So we started with the website.
The gas station.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they were in a spot where they're growing rapidly. They've expanded into a lot of Iowa. So I think right now they have about 100 locations around the U.S. in 3 different states. So they're growing very fast, and they really wanted to invest in their online presence. So we came in and we're competing with another firm for that project, and we were able to beat them out. And that was another really good feeling moment for us.
That's sick, man. So what kind of stuff are you doing for Megasaver?
We started off with doing their website.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of moving into, okay, we did the online presence, so the customer-facing stuff, and now let's work on the back end. So just how can we save the accounting team time? How can we save the recruiters time? Just looking at stuff that the customers don't really see, but stuff that's kind of inside.
Yeah.
Because they're growing rapidly. Megasaver, like the corporate office, they're busy in there. They're busy. They're constantly working, constantly doing paperwork for new stores and hiring, and just organizing all of that. It takes a lot of time, a lot of pressure. So if there's any way we can help, that's kind of our focus.
So my question right now is, I think you kind of touched on it there. Once you guys provide a solution for these companies, right? How do you guys manage to like stay relevant and keep adding value to them even after you've already provided a solution? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that goes to the human connection part. Just when we partner up with a firm, our goal is long-term partnership. So long-term value. We'll go in, we see that initial piece of value that we can provide. For example, that's just the first project. We make a website, we do that first automation, and clients, they always love our work. So I'm very glad to be in that position, but they love our work, and there are always a lot of opportunities. It's still new. A lot of these tools are coming out, just came out like in the last few months. So businesses haven't really been able to take advantage of that yet.
Yeah.
So that's why like there's just a lot to do, and just being able to maintain that relationship over time, that just falls into the human part. Just making sure that you show your face, and if you're not able to go meet them in person, if they're, on the East Coast, for example, then just making sure that you have that time to build that connection over video calls. At least get them to see your face, see their face, talk about, learn about a little bit about the private life. Just make sure to remember it, and just really actually like treat them how you would want to be treated if you were the customer.
Building those client connections is
Exactly.
so important, honestly. Like that's something I've been working on a lot lately with J Blue. And I think it's just like, it means everything genuinely. Like when they don't just see you as like, like a business partner or whatever, but like almost as a friend, you know what I mean? Like someone they can like talk to.
No, yeah. Instead of just saying, oh, that's Automation Rabbit, oh, that's the Automation Rabbit guy, we want them to say, oh, that's Anush, oh, that's Ali, oh, he's just about to graduate, Right? For example, and every time you go in, the first, 5-10 minutes is just, you have to have that small talk. And that's not just small talk just to get it out of the way and then, okay, let's talk businesses. Actually,
you care.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just everything. Like that I think like, especially in the movies and whatever, it kind of gets lost, and like you see they're like, oh, like let's just talk business. Like, you know what I mean? And then they start talking business, and it's like, dude, do you even like really care about this person at all? And it just doesn't really seem like it.
No, yeah, because I mean, that's a great point, because in this space, I mean, there's so much that you can offer. There's so much that Automation Rabbit can go and offer businesses, but it's very easy for young agencies to fall into the trap of, let me go and I know what's best for this business. Let me sell them what I know they want.
Yeah.
But that's not the right approach at all. I mean, that's where the small talk comes in. That's where actually caring about the client. That's where that comes in, because you have to sit there and you have to you are the expert of what you do, but they are the expert of their business. They will always know about
what they need
way more than you. So you have to actually sit there and you have to genuinely ask them and just listen to what they're telling you. And then it's your job to bring them the value that they want, to fix the problems that they need to be fixed.
Yeah.
Not just to fix problems that you want to fix just because you want a paycheck.
Yeah. I feel like that's important, because I mean, if I was a business owner, I wouldn't really want to be looked at as like a money bag. And I feel like that's how I'd feel if nobody was really like, if the people that you're working with like basically see you or talk to you as if you were like just a money bag. No, but like talking to them like they're your friend is just, it's huge, honestly. So kind of moving forward, I mean, I come from like I shouldn't say a marketing background, but because I've been working with J Blue, a lot of it's been marketing. What ways have you guys like tackled marketing for Automation Rabbit?
So our main approach was, most of our client base is going to be using LinkedIn. So that's the main platform that we use. Yeah. The second platform that we use is actually our own website. Okay, cool. So we post a lot of blogs.
That's huge.
I would say the blogs are, when you look at people visiting our page, most people visit our page because they come from a blog. So they're searching up, whatever topic. For example, when Claude Code first came out, for example, we would post a blog about that, and they would, someone would be searching about Claude Code. They would see the blog, they'd hop on it, they would read it, and then obviously it would be on our website. So then they say, oh, what's Automation Rabbit? And let me click around and they can learn more about our business. So mainly it was LinkedIn and our own website, just posting blogs. And then recently, we actually partnered up with a local firm called QA Studios. So they are a marketing firm and super...
Like agency?
Yeah, super talented. So it's run by Manny. He graduated from UNO about a year ago, and super talented guy. So we're really excited to partner up with them. I think Manny's going to help us bring our marketing to the next level and kind of expand to Instagram and making promotionals, Facebook ads, stuff like that.
I love that. Yeah, that's a huge thing. I feel like a lot of business owners are on Instagram now. Mm-hmm. I like LinkedIn, but I feel like it's just all sharks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like real, but I've always been like a big Instagram guy. I see a lot of businesses reaching out to like, I help manage one of my clients' accounts, and every day like I see DMs and stuff, and I'm like, oh shit, like it's real. Like people actually do reach out on Instagram. It's crazy, especially if you're a growing business. People want to be working with like that local person that's trying to solve those problems. You know what I mean? Especially like you guys, because you guys are like the younger, like newer generation, trying to provide solutions for people. I think that's something that people kind of gravitate towards, just because it's that new perspective that like people like that shit.
No, yeah, I mean, just being local. I mean, that I would say that is pretty important. I mean, that's pretty important to me as well when I'm going and I'm looking for businesses to support. I mean, if I know that one's local to Omaha and, you know, they're giving back to the Omaha community, I mean, that's always going to motivate me, you know, to give my business to them a little more.
Yeah. So, like, what's your, I shouldn't say your, but like, what is Automation Rabbit's like main goal as far as like growth, or like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that.
Yeah. From like the business perspective.
Yeah. Like, do you guys want to become like just an Omaha thing, or is it just is it gonna grow to be like a national or international big business?
No, I mean, hopefully we have that growth. I would say the main goal is, so we have the agency model is where we partner up with firms and we do custom work for them. So our goal is just to grow that client base. And then once we kind of have some recurring revenue, Automation Rabbit, like the business model, is kind of split. So we have that agency model, and then we have what we call flagship products that we come out with. So we will go out, we'll do custom solutions. You know, we learn about a bunch of different industries, the problems that they're facing, and then we'll basically invest a lot of time and effort into building out a SaaS platform. So that way we can, instead of like a custom solution being built just for that one firm and only they can use it, and then we have to go and build another solution for another firm.
You said SaaS platform?
Yeah, so
what's that?
Software as a service.
Okay.
So the main difference is like the custom solution that's just built for that one firm, but SaaS platform, it's built for every firm in that industry.
Okay.
So we build it out, and then instead of having to rebuild a solution for each new person, we can just give them a login.
Like a template.
Yeah. Well, it's not a template, but like we can just give them a login and they can access it. So it's like Salesforce CRM, for example. Like they don't have to change the CRM for each new client they bring on. You just pay the subscription price. You get a login. You can, carry all your information over, give logins to the team, stuff like that. So our main growth engine is going to come from the SaaS or flagship products, but growing into the community and all of that is just going to be from the custom solutions. So
that's sick. Is there anything like, as far as new technologies or new programs that you guys are using, is there anything like you're excited for in the coming years or coming months as far as that's concerned, or just like you're excited for Automation Rabbit?
I mean, there's just a lot going on.
I
am a huge fan of Claude right now. So
yeah, talk about Claude, bro.
I mean, Claude has, honestly, so you have the chat feature, you have the co-work feature, and then you have the code feature. The chat, from my experience, is I like it more than chat. So ChatGPT was my main LLM, my go-to. And then I switched over to Claude because I feel like the response that Claude gives you is not as agreeable.
Yeah, so it'll straight up like tell you what's up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you wanted to put together models, for example, I was putting together I asked it to put together like a 5 forces for a decision I was going to make. And instead of chat where it just kind of gives you the text and bullet points, and like they have formatting, but it kind of struggles making graphs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Claude Chat doesn't have a problem with that. I mean, it's beautiful, and it doesn't, it tells you what's up.
Yeah.
It doesn't just agree with everything you say. Claude Cowork allows you to...
Dude, I've heard so much about Claude Cowork. It's
amazing.
insane.
It's amazing. I mean, Claude Cowork and Claude Code, they both allow you to connect to a folder on your laptop.
Yeah.
So way easier to organize. I mean, you can create a folder for a specific project that you're working on. You can put all the documents. You can talk to Claude. You can tell it, obviously read through the documents and then give me an MD file, basically, where what it does is it creates a file to give it. It gives itself the context it needs to be able to work on the project correctly. So you can then open up a new chat with it. You can ask for what's called a handoff document, where it tells you exactly where it left off and the logic and how to continue on from that point. You can create a new session connected to that same folder and then just pick up where you left off with no problems.
Yeah.
Instead of having to rely on that one chat and then at the end, typing in, tell me everything I need to know about this project, and copying and pasting it into a new chat. Then it gets messy and then you have to remind it of details. I mean, it has all the context it needs. It can access your computer. It can open up, if you download Claude, the extension on Chrome, it can open up Chrome and actually do work.
That's crazy.
Chrome. That's
insane.
You can connect your emails to it. You can connect Excel. It's fantastic.
Yeah. So like one of my clients was telling me that like he uses it, and like he was saying if somebody like sends him an email, he could basically automate replies, automate like going into his files, and like doing whatever with them. Like it's crazy, dude. I was watching him show me like, oh yeah, you could do this, and this. I'm like, oh my gosh. But at the same time, it's like it's AI, and AI is not going to do anything that you don't tell it to do. So like your files are safe, from what I heard. But I mean, who knows?
Well, there is a bypass feature, so you can go into settings, you can turn off. So by default, when you go in and it works, so like basically give you, it'll basically ask you like, do I have permission to access this file? Do I have permission to do this and that? Yeah. You can go into settings, you can actually turn that off. And a lot of people recommend that right now. The only obviously caveat is your files might not be safe. I mean, can you really trust Claude?
Yeah. Because like, what if Claude gets hacked or whatever?
Or what if it accidentally deletes a folder on your computer?
Yeah.
Or you're working on a project and it deletes the whole database.
Dude, that's insane.
I mean, so people are getting really eager and they're saying, "Oh, just it's easier if you just bypass all permissions. Let's just do it." But I mean, it gets to a point where you're putting all of your eggs in Claude.
So what camp do you sit in? The one that doesn't, or the one that does?
If I'm working on something that like there aren't any like really negative like repercussions, I'll turn that feature on. So that way, I can put in a prompt, I can get up, I can go to a different room and come back and it'll be done. But I mean, if I'm working on a project for AR, for example, like a client project, no, I mean, I have that feature turned off. I don't trust Claude enough yet to be able to work autonomously. Like I want to make sure that my position is basically when I'm using Claude, if Claude is an engineer, then I'm basically the project manager. I still want to be there. I still want to tell it what to do and make sure that it's building it out in the way that I still understand it. I don't want it to just build out a product. I give it to a client. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm handing you.
Yeah.
Claude built all this. Let's just hope it works. I mean, I have to make sure that I understand it like through and through. Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
Honestly. Is there anything else you want to touch on as far as like Automation Rabbit? Any other stories you have with clients or like stuff that you guys are working on?
Right now, so with Claude coming out and it being so popular, a lot of businesses are, and I mean, I was in Council Bluffs not too long ago, and what I do is I just go door to door and just talk to businesses, the problems that they're facing and how we can potentially help. And I've kind of noticed that recently a lot of businesses are just getting the Claude subscription themselves and setting it up and using it, which is awesome to see. I mean, that's why Automation Rabbit exists, is to give business owners that ability to automate their work, and now it's $20 a month to be able to do it yourself. So that puts us in a really awesome position where we've been using these tools for a long time, and we can basically go on LinkedIn and just share, for example, like tips on how to use it better, how to set it up properly, and how to set it up in the way that we do it. So going forward, we're going to be on LinkedIn a lot, posting, tips, some builds we have
for Claude.
Claude, Claude, a lot of other tools. I've been using Perplexity a lot.
Yeah.
So on my LinkedIn, I mean, there's going to be a lot of like tips on how to use LLMs to best for your business. So that's my main initiative for the next few months.
That's sick. And I bet like there's some clips on this podcast that you can hopefully use too, just to promote.
Yeah,
hey, that's what we do this for, right?
It's a good plus.
Yeah. No, it definitely does. I mean, it's also like, I like having the podcast because I can just talk to my friends, and I also like learn a lot about them that I won't like otherwise know, if you know what I mean. But at the same time, I can also promote what they're doing. So there's always that upside.
No, yeah. I mean, like, how does it feel having a podcast that now people are coming up to you and saying, hey, can I hop on your podcast? Do you have time this week or next? I mean, how does it feel now?
I like it. Like, I mean, there was a while that like, I mean, I had a lot of people that like would talk down on it. I don't know if you know, like freshman year, there was a lot of people on Fizz that were hating on it, but I feel like now it's just like, okay, like he's got it together. You know what I mean? Like he knows what he's doing. People see the hustle and that it like paid out. So, I'm kind of like, I'm happy where it's at right now, because now I can really just sit down and like shout out to Jay Blue for letting me use this room, and Bell for saying I can use this room, because like the equipment in here is like what I had like before, just it was a mess. But like I said, I'm happy where I'm at now. And the next podcast, I'm going to have Wilson on. I think he said he knew who you are. So
yeah, Wilson. Yeah.
Yeah, Munsterman. We'll probably, I mean, I don't want to talk only about his book and being an author and all of that, but I'd love to just, talk to him as a human. So just like you.
No, I mean, he's had a lot of success so far. I mean, I'm so happy for him. I mean, just being able to share his story in the way that he did, and I mean, it's resonating with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's just awesome to see the impact that his book has made.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's gonna be a nice podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I love getting people that are like doing stuff, like doing good things, for the world. I love giving them a platform to just talk about it. You know what I mean? Even if you're not really doing anything too crazy, just like if I know somebody that's just really interesting, I'll get them on the podcast and be like, oh my gosh, dude, you got such an interesting perspective on everything. Like, it's fun. Genuinely, it's fun.
And now Goal is Full, like you said, you have the opportunity to give people a platform.
Yeah.
To kind of share themselves and their ideas. And like what you said, like when you first started and people were talking down on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, now that you're kind of popping off, now people are respecting it. I mean, I think that's the unfortunate way of how people just react to, I guess, new ventures. But like you knew your goal and you had a mission in mind, you just kept going and it worked out. So that's awesome. Yeah.
So that's where we're at now. Hopefully I can keep it going through the summer and into next year. I just want to keep getting these new perspectives. I learn a lot from these episodes, so it's just fun. At the end of the day, I'll be honest, it is a lot of work to edit and get those like thumbnails made and everything, but it's what I do. Like, I love doing it. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of work, but I love it, so I'll take it on. But I'm sure you're the same way with Automation Rabbit. There's a lot of like tasks that like it's a lot of work, but at the end of the day, it's worth it because that's your organization.
No, yeah, because when we first started, I mean, there wasn't a lot of work to do, and that was a big problem that we had. So now being busy is a fantastic problem. Yeah, in my opinion. So
It feels good.
It feels good.
Yeah.
It means if we have work, that means we're doing something right.
That's right. Yeah. I love that, man. I love that. So I kind of want to dive into more of like who you are outside of like Automation Rabbit. So did you grow up in Omaha area?
Yeah. So I was born in Tajikistan, which is in Central Asia. And so my parents came here with me right before my 5th birthday.
Okay.
So I would say, I grew up in Bellevue.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess Bellevue is pretty much Omaha. It's like kind of the same thing.
That's south, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I moved to Omaha when I was like 9 years old or something.
Yeah.
And I've been here ever since.
Cool. So which high school was that? Did you go to?
I went to Creighton Prep.
Oh yeah, Prep. My bad. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Creighton Prep. So, from there, then obviously you applied to Creighton. What was your goals going into like moving from high school and then going to Creighton?
I was looking into, so my major going into Creighton was just finance. So I was just I was thinking that I wanted to be a financial advisor. And then I would say maybe second semester of freshman year, I started learning more about the Business Intelligence and Analytics program here, the BIA program. And then I decided to, kind of tack that on as an additional degree because I thought just being able, just knowing just the basics of, tech is such a vague word, but just the basics of being able to work with data, understanding different like SQL and Tableau, and you have to take classes for Python and JavaScript. Just understanding the basics I thought would be helpful for finding a job after college, and that actually ended up being a fantastic decision because now I'm in Automation Rabbit. So BIA, just plays.
So now you're like just directly applying it.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Feels so good, doesn't it?
Yeah. So feels good that I made But
that's what's up, man. So somewhere along the way, you also became the president of the MMA club. Can you kind of just talk about like how that came to be?
Yeah, so I swam pretty much year round in high school.
Yeah.
So how it would work is we'd have high school swim starting like mid-November going until like late February. That's when state championships were. So February like 22nd, I believe. And then we'd have a 2-week break and then club practice would start. And actually the owner of the club was our high school coach. So I was basically swimming under the same coach all year round. And then, so I just kind of got in the habit of just always having something to do after school. If I maybe got home at 3 p.m., maybe like 8 or 10 times throughout high school.
Yeah.
Because I was always coming home after practice.
Yeah.
And so once senior swim kind of ended, I was going home at like 3 p.m. every single day, and I was like,
you need to find something.
I need to find something to do.
Yeah.
And then my older brother used to box, and we actually have a lot of boxers in the family. So my brother recommended this gym called McDoyle. So I started going there, started doing some Muay Thai, BJJ. And then when I came to Creighton, I was just walking around during Scott shutdown looking for clubs.
Yeah.
And then I saw Griffin, who was he was a senior when I was a freshman. So he was the president at the time. I saw him. He was promoting MMA club, and I was like, this is awesome. I want to join. And then first year was just fantastic. Griffin was a great president, just a great person all around, the community that we had at MMA club. And I was like, this is the club that I want to be a part of in college. So when he left, the club kind of was in this position where there weren't like a lot of people, because all the people that were in the club were seniors, so they all left.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was just me, and AJ hit me up, and he was like, hey, I have this experience. I'd love to help you out. So he was like the first person that came up, and he was like, hey, I'm here. Let me help you out.
Yeah.
And then Chris was there too.
Yeah.
So like the three of us kind of started the club up again, and we were going out, and we were just advertising at Scott Shutdown, and that's when you, Logan, and
because we were all freshmen. Yeah.
And then it kind of just started from there. So I became the president sophomore year, and it's been a great time. You're also part of the club. How do you feel about it?
I don't know, like jumping in, I was a Taekwondo base. Did that since like first grade. So it was basically all I knew up until high school when I started doing wrestling. I had a little bit of boxing experience before that, but it wasn't like anything crazy. So I ended up wrestling like most of high school, and then coming to Creighton, I'm like, how can I apply? I had heard one of the main reasons I came to Creighton was because I heard that there was an MMA club, which is kind of crazy, but I'm like, okay, so I need to join this club. That's like my objective. You know what I mean? Because this is the culmination of like what I've been working on, and I feel like MMA after wrestling is kind of just like the natural progression for most wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
And coming in, man, dude, I was like, it was awesome. My freshman year was probably like the most MMA I've ever done, like ever. Even now. even like, unfortunately, even like when I was actually fighting, like sophomore year, the most MMA I did was freshman year.
No, yeah, because freshman year, I mean, you just have so much time on your hands. Yeah,
we had our own room, like our own mat room, that we could basically use whenever we wanted. So me and Logan would just go in there and spar, even outside of practice. And we just like, I feel like we got to the point where we just knew like all of our moves, but we got to the point where like all our skills were like pretty refined, and we were like really good. Like whenever like anybody else would come in, I'd feel bad because like we had been practicing so much. Like we just had all this like sparring experience that it's like, okay, we got to go easy on them.
That mat room was fantastic, and it had the mats on the walls.
It's a tragedy.
That was a tragedy, man.
Rest in peace, that room, bro.
I do like the new room.
Yeah,
but it doesn't come close, because that was a dedicated room just for
It really was like just the best room.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, that
Rest
room.
in peace.
But I mean, we're still up. We got that new room. It's all right. I mean, the mats slide, but
yeah, do you want to tell them how we keep the mats in place? It's like the weirdest.
Dude, so okay, we'll have like the room is basically a dance practice room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it has these stationary bikes. So we'll roll out our mats, because they're like roll out mats on like the hardwood floor, and we'll like wheel over the stationary bikes to the like each corner of the mat, and those bikes try their best to hold it in place, but I mean,
some cracks appear here and there in the mats, but I mean,
it's better than not having them at all.
Yeah, because when you kind of plant a foot in and you like push off, and then the mats, it creates that space, and then someone goes for a takedown. I mean, someone could crack their head open.
Yeah,
on the hardwood floor. I mean, it's
a hazard, but it's like, bro, come on.
It works.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as we can practice. I mean,
that's the main thing. Like, so looking forward at like the next coming years, where do you see MMA going as far as like the club? Because I know you're leaving. I mean, AJ already isn't like, he's not an exec anymore, is he? But
no.
We'll have Logan, and then outside of that, like what do you think's gonna happen?
I mean, if you look at like my last 3 years, MMA Club's been growing every single year. So after Scott shut down, how it always works, I mean, and like you've seen this too, is we'll have a lot of people come like the first like week.
Yeah.
And then maybe 20% end up actually staying. But those 20% actually stay, and like they're there.
Yeah.
And every year you get an additional 20%. And I mean, it's been growing. So I'm actually really excited for the next few years.
Yeah.
I think the club's going to be in a really good spot.
I think the good part is like even in these later, because I think numbers just genuinely go down second semester, but like what's been going on with Logan is he'll invite a bunch of people. I think the main thing is that those regulars keep inviting people. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, yo, pull up to MMA club, like want to spar, whatever. oh, you can bring this person and then you two can spar. And it's always just kind of like that. Like pull up. Like you can learn how to fight. Like it's fun. It's fun to do.
No, his last I've been to his last, I'll say like 4 practices. They've all been really good. I mean, you walk in, there's like 15 people, like 7 you facing.
And it's like it's insane, but it's
insane.
so much fun. I'm like, I don't know how he's been able to keep that same energy since like the beginning of the year, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm glad he's an exec.
And the music is good too. And the great thing is, I mean, every year we're also getting new gear.
Yeah.
So like the one thing is when I came in, we had like all the gear that we had was like competition gear. So people were basically sparring, and this wasn't their fault because like they shouldn't have the funding for it at the time, but they were basically sparring in competition MMA gloves.
Yeah.
With no headgear.
Oh, so it's like no padding at all because it's competition.
Yeah, basically no padding on the hands, and then they would wear like one shin guard and the other foot wouldn't have a shin guard. It's like, and they were doing the best that they could with the funding that they had. And over the last 3 years, the great thing is every member has been on board and has been willing to, put up dues so that the club can actually like buy more gear. And I think first year we started off with some MMA gloves and some shin guards, like sparring MMA gloves, 7 ounces. And then now we got some headgear. And now I think the next big purchase is going to be elbow pads.
Yeah, that'd be huge, man. But you still got to be careful with elbows, I swear.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a good thing to practice. I mean,
yeah, no, I agree. I think elbows are super important. Whenever like I'm in a situation that I feel like is kind of sketch, that's always like the first weapon I think about. Like, oh, if that person comes at me, I'll throw an elbow. That's like the first thing that comes to mind. Like I don't even think about punches anymore. Really? Yeah, I'm being so for real. I'm like I could teep, but I'd rather elbow. Like an elbow to the head is just that's enough.
What if you had to choose one base for MMA that was the most helpful in a street fight? And let's say the street fight it's in an enclosed space, so
yeah. So like like this room.
I would say a little bigger than this room.
Okay.
So you have some space if you do want to choose like Taekwondo, you have some space to move around and have that, like range for kicks.
Yeah.
But maybe like twice the size of this room.
Yeah. So I'd say I'm between and I've been putting up this argument a lot. I like the idea of judo. And I think judo could definitely be like the one. And here's my reason.
Okay.
As far as like, because most people will say Muay Thai, and I fully like agree. I think Muay Thai is great for street fights. To knock somebody out and to end the fight, Muay Thai takes a long time. I really don't think like it also really just depends on who the opponent is, but it takes a lot to knock a person out. For judo, if you toss somebody on the pavement, they're done. Like they're not really getting back up. And once you have that high ground of like you threw them down, it's really the wind's knocked out of them. You're already like over them. You know what I mean? So I feel like the fight's basically over.
That is true because I've been slammed. Derek has judo slammed me a few times before, and you hit the ground hard.
Yeah. I'm like, I feel like that, and I'm sure like what would you choose?
I mean, you made a really good argument for judo, because a lot of people aren't going to be able to defend.
Yeah.
The throws, and I mean, hitting anything hard, even hitting mats, is still like takes the air out of you. I mean,
it does.
Concrete.
Yeah.
Actually break like every bone in your body.
Yeah.
And that gets super hard to defend against it. It's great for close combat. I would honestly make an argument for boxing. As someone who started out with Muay Thai, I would make the argument for boxing just because, I mean, I see in street fights people throw kicks, they throw leg kicks, they throw head kicks, but I feel like hands are always going to be the most reliable.
They're the fastest, yeah.
And boxers, compared to everyone else, I mean, they have by far the best hands, and the footwork is incredible.
Yeah,
so, and also just naturally boxing, like you're not as upright and tall as in Muay Thai. So obviously, like a pure boxer isn't going to be able to defend a takedown.
Yeah,
but they're going to be lower to the ground, so they're going to have a better opportunity. So if they know a little bit of grappling,
and I mean, I fully agree, and I think like that's good because a boxer will know like this is at this angle. If I cut this, if I weave this way, if I cut and create this angle, I can hit their chin perfectly, and then the fight's over. But it also, like I said, it depends on who the opponent is, how big they are, if they have any experience. I feel like a judo person can kind of like, they know how to grab a person in a way that they can just toss them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know if you fully agree with that or not.
No, I mean, I think
it's between the two.
Honestly, I agree. I'd pick judo.
Really?
'Cause judo, I mean, you also learn some submissions on the ground too, right?
I don't know. I haven't learned judo, but I feel like every time I'm screwed is when I've gone against somebody that's done judo. Like Rollins has tossed me a few times and I've been like, oh, like I can't get up.
Yeah, because like wrestling, I mean, it's so much more popular. So like, it's easier. Now, I'm not saying it's easy to, sprawl against a collegiate wrestler or something like that. But I mean, like, it's common knowledge how to defend and sprawl. But with judo, like, a lot of people aren't going to know how to defend.
Yeah.
Like, you have to actually, like, train with someone who does judo.
Like, as a wrestler, I feel like there's more people that are wrestlers than people that do judo. I don't really, like, I barely know how to defend throws. Like when I see a throw coming, I'm like, oh shoot, I need to plant hard on the ground and just make sure I don't get tossed. Like,
yeah, like I just tangle my legs up in theirs and I just hope for the best. And that's not. I don't think that's a very effective strategy.
Yeah.
I mean the people from Hawaii, like the Hawaiian students, they all do judo. Yeah,
because they had it in high school. I want to say, right? That's awesome. I wish I had that.
I wish we had a sport here.
Yeah.
Like a collegiate sport for, I guess.
Like some martial art.
I mean, boxing would be kind of hard.
Yeah.
But that would be awesome. If we could have Muay Thai like as a collegiate sport. I mean, I just don't know how that would work.
Yeah.
Maybe like one person per. Because like with wrestling, like you can have wrestling tournaments. I mean, you can have Muay Thai tournaments as well, but you can only fight like once a day or maybe twice a day. Like 3 times a day is just outrageous.
Yeah.
And wrestlers, they have like 4 matches in a meet or something like that.
Yeah, it sucks. It really sucks. And it's not good for your like body to cut weight. Yeah. Cutting weight's just really bad for you.
Yeah, my brother wrestled in high school and I had a friend, Jalen. My friend in high school that wrestled, and just seeing them cut weight was just, it looked brutal.
Yeah.
So like how was your experience been cutting weight?
So there were definitely days that like it'd be the night before a meet and I'm like, okay, like I can't eat anything right now. I'm already like 5 over. I'm going to run 2 miles and then go to bed and just hope I make weight in the morning. And then I'll wake up in the morning and be like 0.1 over and be like, hopefully I lose that on the bus. I'm like, no, dude. It's really scary. Like it's risky. A lot of it's risky, but I'd say most of the time I'll be like, I'll cut the weight a week before and then just be on weight most of the week and then just like I'll be fine. And then most of the time it's just water weight anyway, so it's not much to worry about. But I mean, I know like my friend Kyvan cut like 15 pounds in a day. I mean, obviously it was mostly water weight, but when he went out there, he just looked like he was dead. Like he was a zombie on the mat. Like,
and I mean, somehow
bad.
After cutting, they still go out and have like lifetime
yeah.
performances. It's just insane.
Like, dude,
it's
I don't know how you guys function like that.
Yeah.
There's no way that's your peak performance.
No, I mean, wrestlers are just different. I heard, I'm forgetting his name, but there was one that wrestled on like 2 torn ACLs, or was it 1 torn ACL or both?
I don't
something
know.
crazy like
yeah.
that. And
I think I heard about that too.
Yeah.
But
it's insane.
People be doing insane stuff, man. I have no idea how you could do that. Or like, I mean, I was talking to Connor McDonald about like how he ran like 100 miles. I got him on the J Blue podcast to talk about that, but like, I don't know how he finished that, and he feels terrible, but he's like, I'm going to run the next day. And then he finished up that week basically running like every day.
Yeah, he ran he posted that.
I'm like, there's no way.
It's
like, some people are just like different. Their mental is just different. Like, I don't know, man.
And he had to work the next day too. I'm pretty sure.
He did, yeah.
And he still went. It was a standing job. Like he has to stand the whole time, and he still ran. That's So I was out there for the first 3 miles, I think.
Yeah.
3 or 5 miles, I don't know, I forget. But like when he first started, and then I went back. I fell asleep.
Oh.
I woke up,
and he was still running.
And I went out and he was still running.
Yeah.
And I ran an errand, I came back and he was still running.
Yeah.
And I ran another errand, I came back and he was just finishing up, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
He ran for what, like 20 hours?
23 hours and 40 minutes.
Straight.
Yeah. So he wanted to be under a day.
And he got it.
And
what, like, he said only a handful of people, or like maybe like 100 people have.
Yeah. No, he said there was 75, now it's 76.
Under 100 people that have achieved that
before the age of 20.
That's
crazy.
That's crazy.
And he said, you know Cameron Haynes, like the ultra marathon runner, the like big fitness guy. His son, can't remember his name, but he attempted that at like the same age and cut out at like mile 75, 76. So I'm like, dude, you need it. Like, I remember I saw him dying at mile 76. I'm like, dude, you got to do this because Cam Haynes' son couldn't. And you got this.
when I pulled up after, I think my second errand, he was on what, like mile 84?
Yeah.
And his pace was faster than the first 80 miles. He was running 7-minute miles at mile 80. It's, how the hell do you do that?
I have no idea. Well, there was a point in time where like the boys and girls track team came out, and just the energy, because I also had my speaker with me.
Oh, were they running with him?
Yeah, they were running with him, like behind him, like let's go, like you got this, come on. So like he definitely picked up the pace.
For the Creighton track team?
No, yeah, the Creighton track team. Yeah,
awesome. That's awesome.
But like, dude, I loved like seeing the support that he was getting. Like it was awesome to watch.
It just, one thing that was kind of a bummer was he wanted to set up a table for coffee.
Yeah, and that's something that he had texted me and was like, hey, like, can you help me work that? But I mean, I understand why it didn't happen.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I'm sure it was a tough decision for the school, and they're kind of put in a bad position.
Yeah, because the truth of the matter is, as far as food, like everything has to go through Sodexo for Creighton. And so, I mean, he wanted to do like Krispy Kreme donuts and like get coffee. It would have been too, well, number one, that's not something you can really do. And number two, like as far as like getting Sodexo to do that, it's too short notice, I think. So, yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, I'm like, damn, that really sucks.
No, but I mean, that was an accomplishment for sure.
Yeah, it totally was. Like, so, I mean, I don't really want to wrap this up right now, but looking forward, now that you're a senior at Creighton, and with everything going on, what do you like? What's your next step right now after you graduate?
I was looking at the calendar the other day and I saw we had 3 weeks left, and I was like, holy shit, it's coming up. And the next step, I mean, it's been the same step that I've had in mind ever since I started AR. It's just been, I mean, after I graduate, I don't have to worry about school anymore. I can just focus on AR full time. And I mean, that's still the plan. My brother and I, we're just going to keep working on Automation Rabbit. We have a mission, we have a goal, and we're just going to just work towards it.
Love it, dude.
Yeah.
I love that.
Hoping to keep growing and connect with as many people as possible.
I love that.
I think at some point we also want to start having kind of like a presence on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just kind of starting out with like educational content, the same content we have it on LinkedIn. Start with that and kind of see where it goes from there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. Hit me up if you need editing because I'm your guy.
But I guess.
I'm your guy, man. Hey, so I appreciate you getting on. So we kind of, at the beginning, we kind of just talked about Automation Rabbit, lots of like the details, the nitty gritty, like talking about the clients you worked with, and then like your successes with that, as well as like we dove into talking about like Claude AI and all of that, Claude co-working. Then we started talking about like where you came from, starting in, you said it's Tajikistan, then moving to Bellevue, then moving to Omaha, and then eventually going to Creighton Prep, then Creighton. And then we kind of talked about how like you were originally focused on finance and then kind of picked up BIA along the way because you kind of interested in like the more technical, working with technologies and stuff like that and information systems, and programs like that. And then from there, we kind of just talked about like, how you made the transition into like moving into the MMA club, becoming the president of that, working with AJ, getting that all sorted out. And then what was after that? Oh, and then finally we talked a little bit more about Automation Rabbit and like your plans for that going into the future. So, hey man, like if you have any advice for people like listening to this podcast, whether it's like life advice, business advice, whatever, if you want to share that.
Well, like this isn't like my advice that I came up with.
Yeah.
It's been out there, but something that I live by is, and something that it kind of goes along, it has a direct connection with my BIA degree, because the whole thing in BIA is when they're talking about just development, right? Product development. I'm working on projects, just iteration, just making small changes and making it better and better over time. And that kind of goes into my core belief, which is anything that you start in, you're going to fail over and over and over again, but eventually you're going to succeed. So it's better to get those fails out of the way as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So you can get to that success. So that's something that I live by. And I know, when I start something new, when I hop on, a podcast, for example, I'm not going to be as articulate as I would want to be on the first go, but you hop on more podcasts, you get better. You get better at being a leader. You get better at MMA. You get better at everything. So just gotta put in the work and get better over time.
Love that, dude. I feel like that's everything. Like everybody kind of jumps in expecting success immediately, but they're not really willing to put in that work. And then also, like with me, the backlash that you might get for putting in that work. I feel like it's a special case, but always just keep grinding, stay true to yourself, be who you are, and hopefully success will follow. Genuinely. I know with what you guys are doing, success is totally following, especially if you're going to go into that full time. Like it's going to work out for y'all, and I know it will. So thank you so much for getting on, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. Love talking to you. Love talking to you, man. We should definitely do this again sometime soon.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Goal Swole Podcast. If you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to drop a like. And if you plan on listening to any future episodes, make sure to subscribe and click that notification button.